Into the void. The UHS Defiant materialized in a flash of distorted space, its hull crackling with residual energy from the experimental jump drive. Captain Sarah Chen gripped her command chair as alarms screamed throughout the bridge. Emergency lights bathed everything in crimson. "Status report," she barked. Lieutenant Marcus Webb worked frantically at his console. "Jump drive is fried, Captain. We're 30,000 light-years from home. Navigation says we're in uncharted territory." Chen's jaw tightened. The Defiant was Earth's most advanced warship, built for a war that never came. Now they were lost, their experimental drive test having flung them across the galaxy. Behind her, Chief Engineer Patricia Okoye was already on the comm, coordinating damage control teams throughout the ship's 2-kilometer length. "Captain, picking up a distress signal," announced Ensign David Park from communications. "It's close, audio only." "Put it through." Static filled the bridge, then a voice, desperate and afraid. The universal translator struggled with the alien language before words formed. "Please, anyone. They're destroying everything. The Kralathi Empire shows no mercy. Our children." The signal died. Chen looked at her bridge crew. 4,700 souls aboard the Defiant, all stranded far from home. They could hide, search for a way back, play it safe, but that wasn't why any of them had joined Earth's defense fleet. "Helm, plot an intercourse course to those coordinates. All hands to battle stations." The Defiant's massive engines flared to life, pushing the warship toward the source of the distress call. As they approached, sensors painted a grim picture. A small colony world hung in space, its surface dotted with fires. In orbit, 3 angular warships with blood-red hulls circled like predators. "Kralathi Empire vessels," reported Webb, "heavy cruiser class. Their weapons are primitive compared to ours, but they're bombarding civilian targets." On the main screen, they watched as energy beams lanced down from the alien ships, carving destruction into defenseless settlements below. Chen felt rage building in her chest. Those ships are about to learn why Earth built the Defiant. "Tactical, I want firing solutions on all 3 vessels. Use railguns only. We need to conserve our advanced munitions." Commander James Rodriguez, her tactical officer, grinned. "Aye, Captain. Solutions locked. Fire." The Defiant's railguns spoke with thunder. Tungsten projectiles, accelerated to a fraction of light speed, crossed the distance in heartbeats. The Kralathi never saw them coming. The first cruiser's shields flared and died under the kinetic onslaught. Metal screamed as rounds punched through armor plating like paper, crippling the vessel in seconds. The other 2 Kralathi ships wheeled about, finally recognizing the threat. They opened fire with plasma weapons, bright bolts streaking toward the Defiant. The Human Warship's shields absorbed the impacts easily, barely flickering. "Their weapons are no threat to us, Captain. It's like throwing rocks at a tank." "Show them what a real warship can do. Disable the 2nd vessel, destroy the 3rd. The Defiant moved with deadly grace for a ship its size. More railgun rounds shredded the 2nd cruiser's engines, leaving it drifting. The 3rd cruiser tried to run, but a spread of missiles overtook it. The alien ship vanished in a brilliant explosion. Silence fell across the bridge. "Captain, receiving multiple transmissions from the planet's surface," Park said, his voice awed. "They're calling us saviors, gods, asking who we are." Chen stood, straightening her uniform. "Open a channel to the planet, all frequencies." "Channel open, ma'am." "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Human Ship Defiant. We are from Earth, far from this place. We heard your distress call and came to help. The Kralathi ships are destroyed or disabled. You are safe." The response was immediate. Dozens of voices, speaking different languages, all expressing gratitude, disbelief, hope. The universal translator struggled to keep up. An older voice cut through the chaos, speaking with authority. "I am Elder Ven of the Saracelian people. For generations, the Kralathi Empire has enslaved and terrorized this sector. They come, they take, they destroy. We have no weapons to fight them. But you, what manner of beings are you?" Chen glanced at her crew. They were strangers here, impossibly far from home. But they had just proven something important. The Defiant wasn't just a warship. It was a symbol, a promise. We are humans, Elder Ven, and we don't abandon those in need. We have medical supplies and engineers. With your permission, we'd like to help prepare the damage to your world. As the Defiant moved into a stable orbit and began deploying aid shuttles, no one aboard realized they had just fired the first shots in a war that would shake this entire sector of space. The Kralathi Empire had ruled through fear and overwhelming force for centuries. They were about to learn that humanity had mastered both. The Empire's response. 3 days after the battle, the Defiant orbited the Cerelian homeworld while repair crews worked around the clock. Chen stood in the ship's medical bay, watching Dr. Rachel Kimura treat injured refugees. The Cerelians were humanoid, with pale blue skin and large eyes adapted to their world's dim red sun. "Captain, you need to see this," Okoye said, approaching with a datapad. "We've been analyzing the Kralathi technology from the disabled cruiser. Their systems are centuries behind ours, but there's something else. Records, transmission logs." Chen took the datapad, her expression darkening as she read. The Kralathi Empire controlled over 200 star systems in this region. Slavery was legal. Entire species had been wiped out for resisting. The cruelty was systematic, deliberate. "There's more," Okoye continued. "The cruisers transmitted our battle data before we destroyed them. The Empire knows about us now." "How long until they respond?" "Best guess? We have a week, maybe less. They'll send a fleet." Chen nodded slowly. They could run, try to find a way home before the Empire arrived, or they could stand and fight. She thought of the Cerelian children she'd seen in the medical bay, their eyes wide with trauma, but also hope. "Assemble the senior staff. We're going to need a plan." 6 hours later, the conference room buzzed with activity. Holographic displays showed star charts in ship schematics. Webb pointed to a nearby system. "The Kralathi have a supply depot here, 15 light-years away. If they're sending a fleet, they'll stage from there first." Rodriguez leaned forward. "We could hit them before they organize, take out their supplies, slow them down." "It's risky," Chen said, "but sitting here waiting is worse. We hit them hard, we show this whole sector that the Kralathi can be beaten." Lieutenant Commander Sophie Nakamura, the flight wing commander, smiled. "My pilots have been itching for action. Give us the word." Elder Ven had been sitting quietly, observing. Now he spoke. "Captain Chen, if you do this, the Empire will never stop hunting you. They will pour everything they have into destroying your ship." "Let them try," Chen replied. "We didn't ask to be here, Elder Ven, but now that we are, we're going to do what humans do best. We're going to fight." The Defiant jumped into the supply depot system like a vengeful god. The Kralathi base orbited a barren moon, a massive station bristling with defensive platforms. Dozens of transports and patrol ships filled the space around it. "All fighters launch," Chen ordered. "Rodriguez, light 'em up." Nakamura led 40 Valkyrie-class fighters from the Defiant's launch bays. They screamed through space, their plasma cannons tearing through Kralathi patrol ships before the aliens could react. Meanwhile, the Defiant's main weapons opened fire on the station itself. The battle was brutally one-sided. Human technology, human training, human determination. The Kralathi defense platforms fired desperately, but their targeting systems couldn't track the fast-moving human fighters. The station's shields collapsed under sustained railgun fire, and then the structure itself began to buckle. "Captain, picking up an emergency transmission from the station. They're begging for mercy." Chen's voice was cold. "Tell them to evacuate. They have 5 minutes before we destroy the fuel reserves." Escape pods began launching from the dying station. True to her word, Chen waited until the evacuation was complete before Rodriguez fired the killing shot. The station's fuel reserves ignited in a chain reaction visible across the system. "That's the message," Chen said quietly. "The Kralathi Empire needs to know we're not like the species they've been bullying. We hit back harder." But as the Defiant withdrew, its sensors detected something that made Chen's blood run cold. A massive fleet had just jumped into the system's edge. 73 Kralothi warships, led by a dreadnought twice the Defiant's size. They were already on their way, Webb breathed. This was a trap. The Kralothi commander's face appeared on screen, reptilian features twisted in rage. Human vessel, you have made a grave mistake. The Kralothi Empire has crushed 1,000 rebellions. Surrender now, and your deaths will be swift. Chen stood, facing the screen with steel in her eyes. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Defiant. You want to know what a mistake looks like? It's you thinking 70 ships are enough. She turned to her crew. Battle stations. Show them why Earth builds warships. The Defiant's engines blazed as it accelerated toward the fleet, one ship against 73. But it wasn't just any ship. It was humanity's finest achievement, crewed by people who refused to back down, who had crossed the galaxy to help strangers, who understood that sometimes you fight not because you can win, but because it's right. The Kralothi Empire was about to learn a hard lesson. Humanity had arrived in their corner of the galaxy, and humans never fight alone.